كيف حالكم؟ طيبين؟ مساء الخير. حياكم. We have the files, Mahid. All the files ready? Yeah, the links. You don't have them? No, it should have been taken care of already. Hold on one second. رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Inshallah, everyone is doing well tonight. We'll make dua for our brothers and sisters around the world, wherever they may be, regardless of their ethnicity, their country, their nationality, their tribe, their clan, of the Muslims. And of course, we make a special dua for our brothers and sisters in Gaza, in the West Bank, and other parts of occupied Palestine. May Allah make it easy for them. May Allah give them strength, give them more strength, give them more patience. May Allah heal those who are ill and aching, wounded. May Allah have mercy upon those who have lost their lives. And may Allah Azza wa Jalla give victory to our brothers and sisters who are fighting in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and defending their land, defending the sacred land. Allahumma ameen. And most importantly, last but not least, we ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to take revenge against his enemies and to curse all of those who have harmed and annoyed and done wrong and injustice to his believing slaves. Allahumma ameen. With that being said, tonight's lesson, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, we are going to make a quick and brief review of what we took last week concerning Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal al-Shaybani, rahimahullah, and his book, Al-Musnad. We're going to take some readings from a few versions of his book. And we're also going to revisit Imam Malik ibn Anas, rahimahullah ta'ala, ala wajh mujiz, okay, in a brief manner, okay, with regards to his mihna and his fitna, all right, and some of the effects and some of the things that remain to this very day of the mihnatul Imam Malik, rahimahullah ta'ala. That's what we're going to do tonight. And we are not going to move forward in taking the biography of a new Imam. Okay? Khair, inshallah ta'ala. So first and foremost, we have a few links. And if you guys have noticed, what I've been trying to do is not only teach or talk, but share with you some of the available sources in English and in Arabic. And to show you that there are many available sources that are free at your fingertip, on your smartphone, your tablet, your TV. You can study, you can read, you can benefit, you can research at your pace easily from the internet, along with connecting you to the ancient old world, me bringing the actual books, the physical books, reading from the physical books. And this is, in my humble opinion, the key to success is East meets West, and the old school with the new school. We all know in history, Naam Abu Yusuf, the different catastrophes, the tamat wal masa'ib, in which a country refused to look towards the West and refused to look towards today in the future, and they stuck to their in the past, in their country, in their region, in their language, in their religion, and then that's it. We all know what happened in China. We all know what has happened and it is happening in the Middle East, in the African continent, and the list goes on. And we all know what is taking place today when everyone believes that everything is Western, modern, technological, and that's it. And they forget about the past, and they forget about the ancient, traditional. They forget about that which was around for hundreds and thousands, millions of years. So the best way is to take this and that and bring them together. The good of the past, the good of the ancient, the good of antiquity, and to take and to acknowledge and to use and to benefit the good of modernity and the good that the West, North, South, East has to offer. And anything that we discuss or talk about, any class in which we're sharing materials and we're not dealing with the internet, we know is obsolete. The internet has to be at the center of any discussion when we talk about materials in 2024. That's a fact. But at the same time, we don't rely just upon the internet and upon technology and upon the computer screen, upon the touch screen, right? We don't just rely on data. We just don't rely on the internet. We learn about the ancient old ways and the modern ways, and we merge them together. Everyone understand this? We merged them together. All right? So this isn't an accident, nor is it something just based off of convenience. Right? If we wanted to just do everything from the old books, we could do that. But I'm trying to show you that the two go hand in hand. East, west, old, new. They go hand in hand. And there doesn't have to be a fight or a contradiction between the two. And I'm sure all of you guys know and have examples in your own lives, in your own challenges, ups and downs of life, of people being extreme in one of those two directions. Even in sports, it's no different. All right? Nothing will replace the old stuff. But at the same time, you do have the availability of looking at the replay and the different camera angles and the different technology with regards to the shoes that the players wear and preventing injuries. And the list goes on, types of surgeries, things that would take a year to heal, now within 6 months. All right? So the old and the new go hand in hand in all aspects of life. That's the moral of the story, right? That's the moral of the story. All right, that's enough of that. So here is a very beneficial website, which is free. It's called Al-Maktabatu Al-Waqfiyya. Al-Maktabatu Al-Waqfiyya, okay? It is a free library, an endowment that has hundreds, if not thousands of books. All of them are free. Kutub Musawwara, PDFs, and they also have audiobooks as well. Kutub Masmu'a, Kulluha Majaniyya. Doesn't cost you anything. You can download them. All right, so this is an excellent source in Arabic. Is there an English branch or English wing? I don't know. I've never used the English version, if there is one. What's important is this is Musnad Imam Ahmad. Musnad al-Imam Ahmad. We read his biography. And now we're going to take some samples of his book. This version, هذه النسخة وهذه الطبعة 50 مجلدا 50 volumes. كتاب ضخم عظيم. This is huge. Okay? All right? Voluminous. Naam, 50 volumes. Obviously, Imam Ahmad rahimahullah ta'ala, when he wrote his Musnad in the 3rd century, over 1,000 years ago, he didn't write 50 volumes. Why? كيف جاءت ب50 مجلد؟ كيف؟ بسبب الهوامش والحواشي. التخاريج، الكلام في الهوامش والحواشي. يعني إن شاء الله نمر عليها وتشوفوا بإذن الله تعالى how it became 50 volumes. So this here is called Al-Mawsu'atul Hadithiyya. Okay, it's a part of a project that was led by many great hadith scholars and researchers. And this version of Musnad Ahmad is 50 volumes. طيب, let's move forward before we go into this one. Here's another version, which is في كتاب واحد, مجلد واحد. كل المسند في مجلد. All right? Obviously, both versions have their pros and their cons, their benefits. This version of the book, everything is in one single book, one single volume. Okay? Make this larger before we start reading from it. مرقم. Okay? Musnad al-Mukfirin, Musnad Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. All right? And this is the original copy, the Juz or Safha, Raqm al-Hadith. All right? This is in one volume. And this print is called Bayt al-Afkar al-Dawaliyya. There are other versions of it in one volume. This one is pretty good, pretty simple. Musnad al-Imam al-Hafidh Abi Abdullah Ahmad ibn Hanbal rahimahullah ta'ala. طبعة مضبوطة مرقمة معزوة الأطراف مصححة الأخطاء الواقعة في الميمنية يعني الطبعة الأصلية القديمة الميمنية مزيدة ببعض الأحاديث الناقصة منها عليها أرقام الميمنية أيضا معتنى بها فنيا مزودة بفهرسين للمسانيد هجائيا وعلى ترتيب الكتاب. So it gives you an index, an alphabetical order, an index in the order of the author, etc. All right? So both have their virtue. The 50 volume one, 6 volume one, 1 volume one, etc. As far as English translation, then if I'm correct, there is a version or there's a part of it that's been translated into English. Inshallah, we do a Google search really quick. Inshallah, let's see what we have. Musnad Imam Ahmed PDF. Let's see what we get. Internet Archive. Is it Arabic or is it English? Arabic, English not searchable. Here we go. Allahu Akbar. English translation of Musnad Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal. How many volumes? Obviously, it's not the whole entire Musnad, but parts of it are translated. Allahu Akbar. Just like that. The beauty of the internet. Benefiting from the internet. Learning how to properly use the internet. And taking Allah's blessings and using them for good and not for negativity. Right? The snake, if it's a viper, then it has venom. And the antidote for that venom is also found where? في النفس الثعبان السم ودواؤه الترياق في الثعبان نفسه ولا لا؟ كذا الانترنت فيه سم وفيه ايش؟ ترياق. أنت حر اختر لنفسك. You want to use the internet for good, for scholarship, to benefit your soul, your mind, your body, or you want to use the internet to waste time, even if you aren't looking at something haram or listening to something haram or watching something haram, backbiting people, slandering people, making fun of people, speaking about Allah's deen with no knowledge, whatever you're into that's haram on the internet, right? It's your choice. So it's important for us to embrace the technology. Use it for good. Everyone understand this? Use it for beneficial things. Deen and dunya. Both. All right? Khairan inshallah. Okay. So with that being said, we're going to take a selection or two. في أي مجلد نقرأ؟ شباب؟ طيب 38 volume 38. طيب مسند الإمام أحمد بن حنبل حقق هذا الجزء وخرج أحاديثه وعلق عليه شعيب الأرناؤوط عادل مرشد جمال عبد اللطيف سعيد اللحام. هؤلاء الشيوخ والباحثون هذول حققوا الكتاب على النسخ الخطية وذكروا في الهوامش من رواه وما حال إسناده وإلى آخره. بعض التعليقات بعض الشروح إلى آخره. طيب بسم الله. So our first reader, our first volunteer, inshallah, صاحب الأجر. حديث عبد الله بن مالك ابن بحينة. طيب قال رحمه الله تعالى حدثنا محمد بن فضيل قال حدثنا يحيى بن سعيد عن عبد الرحمن الأعرج أن ابن بحينة أخبره أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال في 2 من الظهر نسي الجلوس حتى إذا فرغ من صلاته إلى أن يسلم سجد سجدتين ثم ختم بالتسليم. حدثنا سفيان عن الزهري عن الأعرج عن ابن بحينة قال صلى بنا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم صلاة نظن أنها العصر فقام في 2 لم يجلس فلما كان قبل أن يسلم سجد سجدتين. حدثنا يحيى بن سعيد قال وحدثنا شعبة حدثني سعد بن إبراهيم قال حدثني حفص بن عاصم عن مالك بن بحينة أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم رأى رجلا يصلي ركعة الفجر وقد أقيمت الصلاة فلما قضى الصلاة لاث الناس به فقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الصبح 4. حدثنا يعقوب قال حدثنا ابن أخي بن شهاب عن عمه قال أخبرني عبد الرحمن بن هرمز عن عبد الله بن بحينة وكان من أصحاب رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال هل قرأ أحد منكم معي آنفا؟ قالوا نعم. قال إني أقول ما لي أنازع القرآن فانتهى الناس عن القراءة معه حين قال ذلك. حدثنا يحيى بن غيلان قال حدثنا رشدين قال حدثنا عمرو بن الحارث عن جعفر بن ربيعة عن ابن هرمز عن ابن بحينة قال كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا سجد تجنح في سجوده حتى يرى وضح إبطيه. حدثنا أبو سلمة الخزاعي قال حدثنا سليمان بن بلال عن علقمة بن أبي علقمة أنه سمع عبد الرحمن الأعرج أنه سمع عبد الله بن بحينة يقول احتجم رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بلحيي جمل من طريق مكة على وسط رأسه وهو محرم. حدثنا قتيبة بن سعيد قال حدثنا بكر بن مضر عن جعفر بن ربيعة عن الأعرج إلى آخره. فنلاحظ أن المؤلف الإمام أحمد رحمه الله تعالى ساق عدة أحاديث في موضوعات مختلفة، مواضيع شتى، عن صحابي واحد، لم يذكر كتابا ولا بابا بغض النظر عن الموضوع، وإنما يسوق الأحاديث كل الأحاديث لهذا الصحابي في مكان واحد بغض النظر عن الموضوع الفقهي. هذا يتعلق بالآداب، هذا يتعلق بالعقيدة. عبد الله بن بحينة عبد الله بن بحينة عبد الله بن بحينة قال عبد الله بن بحينة كنا مع رسول. عرفنا كذا ترتيب المسند يختلف عن ترتيب الصحاح والسنن والجوامع والموطئات. كما أخذنا جامع الترمذي مرتب على الأبواب، موطأ مالك على الأبواب، صحيح البخاري على إيش؟ على الأبواب، المسانيد على إيش؟ الصحابة. All right, so we're saying here in Arabic is that now let's go to let's check something out here. Let's look at this another version before we get into the English. Who's our reader? You guys should be warmed up now. Inshallah, I started off. You had to listen to my reading. Now I want to hear you guys read. All right, Tarjamat Imam Ahmad. Bismillah. Who's our volunteer? That's his son, Abdullah ibn Ahmad, the main narrator of the book from his father. And this is the actual book. All right, what does it say? Khulafa Rashidin, Kitab al-Iman, صح? Kitab al-Iman هون ليس كتاب الإيمان، كتاب طهارة، الجنائز، الزكاة، الطلاق، البيع، الوصية، الأيمان والنذور، وإنما هو مسند الخلفاء الراشدين. The Sahaba who narrated these hadiths in one place. No topical arrangement. The book of purification, the book of faith, the book of oaths, the book of wills, the book of funerals. And within those books there are the chapters. Within the book of purification, types of water. Wudu, things that break wudu. Wiping over the leather socks. Wiping over a turban. Right? If you sleep, does it break your wudu? But this book is organized, and we'll see in English as well, in one fashion. Musnad Ali ibn Abi Talib. There could be 700 hadiths, 500 hadiths that he collects, and they have different topics. But the thing that all of these hadiths will share is that they're all reported by who? Ali, in one place. So this is the difference, one of the differences between a book which is a musnad and a book which is sunan. Everybody clear on this? And of course, the differences between sunan and sahih. Right? Bukhari's book, Malik's book, Abu Dawud's book, Tirmidhi's book, Nasa'i's book, Ibn Majah's book, they're all topically arranged. Musnad isn't topically arranged, but it's arranged according to the narrator. You guys with me on the same page or not? So we read in the 50-volume version, how many hadiths عن عبد الله بن بحينة? The first hadith, الحديث الأول كان يتعلق بماذا؟ أول حديث هو في سجود السهو، أن النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام نسي في صلاته. طيب الحديث الثاني في إيش؟ كذلك. والثالث أنكر على أحد الصحابة. والرابع هل تقرأ خلف الإمام أم لا؟ الإمام يقرأ ويجهر بالقراءة، هل أنت تستمع للقراءة تسكت ولا تقرأ خلفه تتابعه أو تقرأ بعد ما ينتهي من الفاتحة. إيش تعلق هذا بسجدة السهو؟ لا تعلق، لا مناسبة. نعم. طيب the next hadith after that والذي بعده كان إذا سجد تجنح فرج، لم يسجد هكذا كما نصلي نحن للأسف، لم يضم ذراعيه إلى جسده، وإنما صلى وفرج وباعد. أنتم معنا؟ كل هذه الأحاديث 4 5 في موضوعات إيش؟ مختلفة شتى. Alright, so in English, the hadiths, who's our reader here? Who's going to be our reader? Let's go up. Now, within the names, within the narrators, how does Imam Ahmad compile it? We'll get there. Right now, all of these hadiths are reported by one companion, and that is Ali, radiyallahu ta'ala anhu wa ardah. So we know that Ali radiallahu anhu was a prolific narrator of hadiths. A prolific narrator of hadiths. Those who have doubts about the hadiths and the sunnah, they say that Abu Hurairah narrated so many hadiths. Why did he narrate so many hadiths? If you criticize Abu Hurairah for narrating a lot of hadiths, you also have to criticize who? Ali. Huh? Right or wrong? They say Umar locked up Abu Hurairah, he beat Abu Hurairah, if that's even true, because he narrated so many hadiths. Tayyib, what are you going to do about Ali? How many hadiths? Just one. This is all the hadiths that he narrated in one book. So among the Khulafa, among Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and Ali radiallahu anhu narrated the most hadiths. And that doesn't mean that he knew the most hadiths. It doesn't mean that he knew more than Abu Bakr or Umar or Uthman, but he narrated the most. Everybody clear on this? He spread the most from among the four. Are you guys with me? Tayyib? All right. So now let's look into this musnad and you see how vast it is. We're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, right? It's a lot of scrolling. Showing you that Ali radiallahu anhu was a prolific narrator of hadith. All right, let's go to the index. Let's see what we find. No index in the back. Let's see if they have it in the front. Table of contents. Dar as-Salam, Hadith 1, Hadiths 1 to 1,380. Okay, here we go. All right, note from the publisher forward, brief biography of Imam Ahmad, as we explained. Musnad Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Then after Abu Bakr is Umar, then Uthman, then Ali. So Imam Ahmad, he arranged the companions based off of their virtue and their precedence. Abu Bakr coming first, unanimously. No room for any discussion pertaining to Abu Bakr coming first. After Abu Bakr, Umar, without any question, unanimously. Obviously, number 3 being Uthman, radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And that in itself is a discussion. And the Khilafah, we're not here to talk about these things right now. All right? What's important is Imam Ahmad mentioned those 4 first. And that's everything here in volume 1. Okay? Now let's start off and let's read Musnad Abu Bakr. And let's see if Imam Ahmad arranged or compiled his book according to the chapters. All right. Mahad, Faddal, Bismillah. It was narrated. We can just start with English for now. to the end of the hadith. So we have 3 hadiths. The first hadith pertains to enjoining the good and forbidding the evil. And that hadith is a lecture in itself. Ya ayyuhan nasu innakum taqra'una hadhihi al-ayah. Right? You people, Abu Bakr said to the Sahaba, to the Tabi'een, to the Salaf al-Salih, the best of the Muslims, innakum lataqra'una hadhihi al-ayah wa tad'unaha fi ghayri mawdi'iha. And you misinterpret the ayah. Alaykum anfusakum. Allah says, O you who believe, alaykum anfusakum. La yadurrukum man dalla idha ihtadaytum. If you have the right guidance, don't worry about those who are astray. I.e., ثم تتركون الأمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر ظنا منكم أن هذا المقصود من الآية. عليكم أنفسكم خلاص لا عليكم أنفسكم وعلى غيركم. عليكم بيد السفيه والعاصي والفاسق تأمرونه بالمعروف وتنهونه عن المنكر. Abu Bakr said, the Messenger of Allah ﷺ said, لَتَأْمُرُنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَلَتَنْهَوُنَّ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ. One or two things. Either you enjoin the good and forbid the evil, or Allah will punish you all. يُوشِكُ أَنْ يُعَمَّهُمْ بِعِقَابٍ مِنْ عِنْدِهِ. That's a scary hadith in itself. The companions and some of the Salaf al-Salih, they had the possibility of misinterpreting the Quran. If it was plausible then, imagine now how we can misinterpret and misunderstand the Quran and abuse the Quran. Unfortunately, picking and choosing what we want from the Quran. Someone comes to the masjid, brother walks into the masjid, he's praying, he's doing something wrong. You tell him, no, don't say anything. I don't want to offend him. Oh, well, it's none of my business, right? Instead of saying, enjoin the good and forbid the evil. It's nothing personal, Mahad. It's haram to wear brown. This is the proof. This is the dalil. That's it. You can take it personal. You can be offended. You can get mad. You can get an attitude problem. But I did my what? My Islamic obligation. He's wearing brown. The hadith clearly states, he who wears brown will go to the fire. End of discussion. It's nothing personal. I don't have to pull him into the corner, sit down. Assalamu alaikum, jazakallah khairan. May Allah bless you, akhi. I just want to give you some advice. That's best. But if he keeps coming to the masjid over and over again, wearing brown, other people start wearing brown, it is my job as a Muslim to do what? No, my job, not your job. Enjoin the good and forbid the evil. And if you don't, Allah will do what? Punish all of us. And that's what has happened to the ummah, unfortunately. The evil is the default. The evil, the things is plain in public, and the righteous Muslim who says it's haram, he's the mutashaddid. And the mutashaddid, you're extreme, you're harsh. You're the harsh person for telling the people you can't do this. So that's the first hadith in Musnad Ahmad. Obviously you can wear brown, just making an example. Don't sweat, huh? Inshallah, what a beautiful thobe you have on. MashaAllah, Allahumma barak alayk. Just trying to make an example, right? So that's what that first hadith was. And then the second hadith was pertaining to which is known as Salat al-Tawbah. All right? Okay? And is also reported from Ali from Abu Bakr. Naam. Concerning making a sin. And if you make wudu and you make 2 rak'ah, Allah will forgive you. إِلَّا غُفِرَ لَهُ. طيب السؤال ما المناسبة بين الحديث الأول والثاني؟ وجوب الأمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر وصلاة التوبة لا مناسبة بينهما. فإن the tartib isn't based off of the fiqh chapters. That's the Musnad Ahmad. But if Imam Ahmad chose to collect 20, 30 hadiths of Abu Bakr, he's going to put them all in what? One place and mention all of them. Everybody clear on this? Now, what's the benefit of the Musnad? One may ask. إيش فائدة هذا الترتيب؟ بخلاف الترتيب الفقهي. What's the benefit? What you going to get from that? That you can take your time and stick in one place. And every hadith that you've read and you're familiar with, you automatically know that it is Abu Bakr. And understand this? Abu Bakr. That's Abu Bakr's narration. That's Abu Bakr's narration. Versus the fiqh order in which 20 hadiths in one chapter, Ibn Abbas, Umar, Aisha, Jabir, Everybody clear on this or not? So there are benefits in both styles. There are benefits in both styles. So once again, this is the English translation of Musnad Ahmad. La abadan. There is a tartib of the Sahaba على حسب الفضائل ثم القبائل. لا أبدا 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 إنما يسند ويسوق كذا. All right? Now, the four khulafa coming first, then who came after the khulafa? Who do you think Imam Ahmad put next after the great four? What would you think? Abdurrahim, what would you think? Who will come next in your book? كلهم صحابة يا رجل. أي صحابة؟ العشرة المبشرون. The remaining 6. Then who after the 6? After we have 10. Then who? Bilal. سابقين الأولين. Who else? Along with Bilal from the early days. Who else? Who are the companions that were there from day one? Early days of Mecca, when the Muslims were tortured and persecuted, when they were few in number. What? Who else was there? That's it? Just Bilal radiallahu anh? Who else? Who else? وهكذا. Everyone understand this? So there is a way that he organized the companions, those who are مكثرين, السبعة المكثرون في رواية الأثر أبو هريرة إليه ابن عمر. But within the masanid ليس هناك ترتيب فقهي. فهمنا? There is no topical arrangement or categorization within the companions. This is one of the differences between Musnad and Sunan. All right, another difference is that the Sunan are generally, and I quote, generally sounder. And the reason why they're generally sounder is because they're used specifically for fiqh and for ahkam. The Musnad is a collection, compilation, compendium. Everybody clear on this? I don't want to spend too much time on this. The topic of the class or the series is the Imams and not their actual books. But I'm just trying to share with you guys from the things that make these Imams so great. Of course, their works, which we leave behind. إن علم الرجل ولده المخلد. علم الرجل يعني ما ترك ما خلف يكون ولده يبقى. You become immortal when you write a book. A man's lineage and legacy, his children that will live forever, is what's on paper. The importance of leaving behind work. All right, so this is Sunan Abu Dawud. Now let's look at the end here. Let's look at all the way. Let's go all the way back. Let's see what we find. Or type. You know what? Let's go up. Bismillah. Everybody stay with me in English and in Arabic. This is also another print of Abu Dawud. It's in one volume. Tayyib. All right. What do we have here? Tarajim, the biography of the author that we gave you. All right. What do we have here? Kitab what? Musnad al-Khulafa al-Rashidin. صح؟ نعم؟ لا يا أخي. خلفاء الراشدين. مسند أبي بكر. صح؟ ليس صح. Don't ever nod your head unless you agree. طيب. Here he started off with what? Kitab al-Tahara. So the kutub murattaba. والأبواب داخل الكتب إيش؟ مرتبة. يكون روابط بينها مناسبة بينها. نعم. لا يقدم المسح على الخفين على الوضوء. وإنما مسح على الخفين يكون أنواع الماء وإلى آخره. طيب, you guys with me? You with me, Sufyan? All right, so Imam Abu Dawud, he starts off with the chapter of Tahara. باب التخلي عند قضاء الحاجة. The etiquette of using the bathroom, relieving oneself, being close to people, walking far. The etiquette of not having urine splash on your clothes or your skin. Something that we need to teach our children, our sons. You go into the masjid's bathroom and you see urine on the toilet seat. It's a big, huge problem. A huge problem. Urine is on the floor in the bathroom of the masjid. It's a huge problem. And this is one of the reasons behind punishment in the grave. Adhab al-qabr. Nas'al al-afi wa salama. Is not protecting yourself from the splashes of urine. Whether you sit down or stand up, don't allow the splashes to get on your clothes or your skin. It's a major sin, which many of us take lightly, and we don't teach our sons. Grown men. You go on a road trip with a brother in the hotel. You go and use the bathroom, and you see, it's like, subhanAllah, what is this? Cave. So if it's everywhere on a seat, then it had to get what? In most cases, hakada. And it's mushkila. All right, so الرجل يتبوأ لبوله. Okay, choosing a place where to use the bathroom, what to say when you use the bathroom. All right, then it says, look here, carefully. Bab. All right, let's go up. Babu كراهية استقبال القبلة عند قضاء الحاجة. Not facing the qibla when you relieve yourself. Not turning your back towards the qibla when you relieve yourself. Right? That shouldn't be done. Houses, homes, apartments, the bathroom, the toilet should not be in the direction of Mecca. Period. With a wall, without a wall. All right? Then, hadathana. He reports his hadiths. And then he says, Bab rukhsati fi dhalika. The allowance to do so. Whether it's disliked, it's not absolutely haram, if there's a building between you, etc. كيف التكشف عند قضاء عند الحاجة. How do you take off your clothes? What do you say when you take off your clothes? The shayateen, the bathroom, so on and so forth. نعم. في الرجل يذكر الله تعالى لغير طهر. Mention Allah's name when you don't have wudu. باب الختم يكون فيه ذكر الله تعالى يدخل به الخلاء. If you have a ring that has Allah's name on it, can you go into the bathroom or not? Do you have to take off the ring? Do you spin the ring around? Etc. So we see the categorization and the organization of the hadiths. All of them appropriately pertain to what? One topic. So the first narration, let's go up. Let's see if we've truly understood. طيب من الراوي الحديث الأول. حدثنا عبد الله بن مسلمة ابن قعنب القعنبي قال حدثنا ابن أبي محمد عن محمد يعني بن عمر عن أبي سلمة عن المغيرة بن شعبة رضي الله تعالى عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان إذا ذهب المذهب أبعد مشى ابتعد عن الناس. When the Messenger of Allah wanted to relieve himself, he would go what? Far away. He wouldn't relieve himself close by the people. So the first hadith is reported by Mughira ibn Shu'bah. Second hadith is reported by Jabir. Third hadith is reported by Abdullah ibn Abbas. Fourth hadith is reported by Anas. You guys get it? It's not about the companion, but it's about the topic of the hadith. Musnad Ahmed, hadith 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. كلها عن إيش؟ صحابي واحد. Abu Bakr, Umar, Suhaib, Anas. You got it, Mahd? All reported by one companion. All right, let's move forward. We should be done with that. This is Sunan Abu Dawood. All right. Musnad Ahmed, 1 volume. Musnad Ahmed, 50 volumes. Waqfiyah, very beneficial website to download all of these books for free of charge. That's an amazing virtue. And I can say that when I started studying and seeking knowledge in late 90s, early 2000s, there was no such thing as Waqfiyah. It didn't exist. The internet, of course they had the internet, but you had dial-up. It wasn't like how it is now. You didn't have high-speed 5G, LTE, 4G. They didn't have none of that stuff in your pocket. You ask me a question, where do I find this hadith? 1 second. Hey Siri, tell me about such and such. There was no Alexa or Siri. None of the artificial intelligence was available. You understand? The point proven or not. If you wanted to read something or study something, you had to get the book. At best, a CD or a VHF, tape or whatever the case may be. Now you guys today, at literally, basamat, the touch of a finger, and you have 50 volumes of Islamic knowledge, just like that. Wallahi, this was a dream back in the day. I remember ordering books from California. Not New York, going to New York, going to Brooklyn. Not, there was no Amazon. It was certain books you had to order from the West Coast and for them to ship to the East Coast just for you to read and study. And of course, that came with its benefits. That's one of the reasons, walillahi alhamdu, why we worked hard. Alhamdulillah, wala fakhr yani. It's one of the reasons why we benefited in such a short period of time versus the new generation in which everything is easy and simple and sweet and mashallah. You don't have to have no skill in parking in a car. You use the rear view. Rather, the car parks itself. I'm still outdated. The car parks itself. Ajib. But back in the day, you had to do what? Look back, the angles, there was no beeping. You had to have skill in parallel parking. And of course, you still have to have skill with the technology, but you get the point I'm trying to make. You get the point I'm trying to make, right? All right, type. So that's enough of that. Ala hal balaghtu. Have I conveyed the clear message, giving advice to you youngsters, right? So that's Musnad Ahmed, 1 volume, 50 volumes. Now, inshallah ta'ala, the last thing we'll do tonight is reading from another online source. Islam Web was an extremely la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, beneficial website that is free in different languages, full of fawaid. You can read whatever you want to read with the sources from this site, okay? All right, tight. So I'm done reading. You guys heard my voice enough for now. Man al-Qari. أصحابنا أصحاب اليمين إن شاء الله. طيب بسم الله تفضل بارك الله فيكم. السؤال. طيب, the question says, in what book is it mentioned, in what book can I read the fitna of Imam Malik, his trial? What happened to Malik? Everything in life isn't, hugs and kisses. Even for a scholar. Everything isn't rosy and peachy. Everyone is going to say, mashallah, mashallah, taqbil al-ru'us wal-aydi. Abadan. Life is full of trials and tribulations for the righteous, for the pious. You will be tested. Allah will test you. All right? And obviously that's one of the main themes of the Quran, one of the most consistent themes of the Quran. وَبَلَوْنَاهُمْ, right? وَنَبْلُوكُمْ نعم وَكَذَلِكَ فَتَنَّا آيات كثيرة جدا. All right? How Allah tests men with what? Other men. Steel sharpens steel. And men sharpen men. Men are sharpened by what? Through other men. Tests, fitna. So Imam Malik, rahimahullah ta'ala, like Imam Ahmed, like Bukhari, we read this. Kulluhum. They were all put through trials. All right? So what book can I read about what happened to Imam Malik and caused Imam Malik to pray with his hands to his sides? You may see some brothers from Senegal or other parts of West Africa or other parts, people who say that they're Malikis. And when they make salah, yustilun. Their hands are to their sides. La yaqbidun. They do not put the right over the left. Hanafis, navel, under, beneath, on. Hanbalis, navel, under. Shafi'is, etc. But certain Malikis, not all, you see them praying Mauritania or Gambia or Guinea-Bissau, different countries, maybe in Morocco, Libya, different places. You see them praying with their hands to their sides. So where can I read about what happened to Imam Malik? Ma'awali al-Madinati, the governor of Medina. انتبهوا لهذه الكلمة الوالي والي بخارى الولاة. انتبهوا لأنفسكم. ليش هالإشكال المشاكل تجي من الولاة والي فلان انتبهوا. The governor of Medina, what problem did he have with Malik? And why did Imam Malik, why was he forced to pray with his hands to his side? Right? And why do some people, or what of whose student, Imam Malik's talamid, his students, which of Imam Malik's disciples, reported that, and to this very day, among the four madhabs, the four schools, the four main orthodox schools, there are some who say that this is the way that you can and should pray. That when you make the salah, you pray what? Like this. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki, right? Like this. Versus, however you fold or hold, but it's what? Right on the left. Fahim that su'al? Everyone understand the question? All right? Right. We're not here to talk about fiqh. We're not here to talk about Malikis. But the way that Imam Malik supposedly prayed, and those who narrated, that's a cause of the fitna that he went through. Naam. طيب. Bismillah. Tfadal. Al-ijaba. Al-Hilya. طيب. So the answer says the story of Imam Malik being beaten and whipped is well known. A famous story. Imam Malik was whipped. Physically whipped. Not metaphysically. They did physical violence to Imam Malik. He beat him up. It's a well-known story. And this story is mentioned fi kutub al-rijal, in the books concerning the narrators of Hadith. What tawarikh, and the historical biographies of the Imams and of the narrators. From those books is a book which is called Al-Hilya by Abu Nu'aym al-Asbihani. All right? Hilyatul Awliya wa Tabaqatul Asfiya. Kitab Azim Taram. And of course, Siyar Alam Nubala by Dhahabi, Qara'na Minhu, which I presented in a book to you guys a few weeks ago. Fadal, Bismillah, Qala Sahib al-Hilya. حلق الله المستعان على من عرفني أدركوه يعني هذه نقاط للاختصار إلى آخره إلى أن قال عن الفضل بعض الولاة انتبهوا دائما الولاة قال لا أدري من هو إنما يجيزه طيب جزاكم الله خيرا. So the author Abu Nu'aym al-Asbahani, he says he reports with his chain of narration asanid, the meat and the potatoes, as I explained to you, the isnad, the chain of report. You can't just bring and make up something from your pocket. Who'd you hear it from? Where'd you get it from? He said, Sami'tu Aba Dawood. I heard this man, is that Abu Dawood, Sahibuna, Sahibu Sunan, or someone else? Al-Muhim, Abu Dawood. He says, I heard him saying that this man, Ja'far ibn Sulaiman, he was the leader, he was the governor of Medina, he beat Malik pertaining to a fiqh issue. And that fiqh issue was talaqul mukrah, someone being forced to divorce his wife. I take a gun and put it to your head. If you don't divorce your wife right now 3 times, your brain is going to be on the wall. But that's my wife. Count to not even the 3. You figure it out. It's already cocked back. One is in the chamber. What you want to say? I divorce her 3 times. He was what? Mukrah. He had no choice. He was coerced. Either you get shot in the head or you divorce your wife 3 times. So I take the gun down, I walk away. Whether I was joking, whether I was playing, or I changed my mind, you can live. You can keep your life. Now you go back home to your wife. What's the ruling? Is she your wife? Or you divorced her what? 3 times. So one scholar may say, طلاق المكره لا شيء. إنما الأعمال بالنيات. هذا لم يكن له النية إلا من أكره وقلبه مطمئن بالإيمان. ورفع عن أمتي الخطأ والنسيان وما استكره في نصوص. Many texts from Quran and Sunnah prove that if a person is forced, then there's no result. There's no consequence. If you had to make a statement of kufr, if you don't denounce Allah right now, we're going to kill you. Naam? Forced confessions. Confess after torture. That. So some scholars, they're going to say that talaq al-mukra la yaqa is an invalid divorce. She's still your wife. And other scholars, for argument's sake, they may say, bal, rather, she's divorced. So Malik, rahimahullah ta'ala, he was asked about this issue. He spoke about this issue, and he gave his fatwa, his madhab. Whether it does count, or whether it what? Doesn't count. Everybody on the same page? He was asked, he gave his opinion, what he believed to be the truth from Quran and Sunnah. This ruler, this leader, Ja'far bin Sulaiman, he didn't like what Malik said. And of course, wallahu alam, in most cases, this is only the smoke screen. Taban. In most cases, there's some type of envy or jealousy or something else. My nephew was supposed to be the Mufti of Medina, not you. So we have to look for an excuse to, set you up. Whatever the case, Allahu alam, controversy, scandal. Everybody with me or not? I had something against you, Mahad, from day one. So the moment that you wore brown to the masjid, that gave me the reason to just pounce on you. You understand? So the ruler of Medina, whatever, Allahu alam, whatever he had in his chest, he had a problem with Malik. Malik said what he said. It reached the leader, and they beat him. They whipped him. وَحُلِقَ. And he was shaven. Yani ihana. They wanted to humiliate him. Shave his head outside of Hajj and Umrah. And Allahu alam, it seems as well, it's very possible that they shaved his beard, which is disgraceful. And obviously that's a long discussion فيما يتعلق باللحية في Islam, and the importance of the beard in Islam. And many other cultures outside of Islam, the Muslims, in which hair is sacred. And if you wanted to humiliate someone, shave their heads. That's the ultimate dishonor, right? So, duriba huliqa. When he was beaten, they shaved him. وَحُمِلَ عَلَى بَعِيرٍ. They tied him up and they threw him on the back of a camel, right? فَقِيلَ لَهُ نَادِي عَلَى نَفْسِكَ. And they said, go tell the people about yourself. Ihana. They wanted to shame him. They wanted to embarrass Malik and humiliate Malik. All right? So Malik is on the back of the camel. The camel's being paraded around. He's hurt, bleeding, shaven. Allah alam how he was dressed, trying to make fun of him, trying to humiliate him, trying to humble him. And he was forced to tell the people. And Malik, and listen to the beauty of this statement. He said, "Ala man arafani faqad arafani." He who knows me knows me. He who knows me knows me. What I would say and what I wouldn't say. He who knows what I'm about and what I'm not about. Whether I said this in a lecture or not, you're supposed to know. If you watch my videos, Sufyan, from the years, you're supposed to know the quality of person that I am. So for argument's sake, I did say something or I did make a mistake, but wait a minute, that's Hadith disciple. He's talking about Bukhari and Muslim and this and that. And you're trying to make him seem like he's some weird, crazy, deviant person, calling the people to some type of bid'ah. Oh, I don't know about that. Let me call Mufti myself. Let me check in with myself because I know him. I've been studying him for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and I know the type of classes that he delivers. So what you're trying to do is scandalize him. Every class, Kutub Sitta, Imam this, Ibn al-Qayyim. What are you talking about? Ala man arafani, faqad arafani. Those who know me, what? They know who I am. I don't need to go through this type of scandal. And those who don't know me, here I am. Malik ibn Anas ibn Abi Amr al-Asbahi. And I say, talaqul mukrahi laysa bishay. The divorce of a coerced man means nothing. Laysa bishay. Right? My friends don't need it, and my enemies won't believe it. My friends don't need this clarification. They know who I am. And the people who are trying to scandalize me, if I wrote 50 pages, they're not what? It's not going to be enough. They're going to say, write another paper, clarify it again, recant it again, explain it again. لأن المقصود الإهانة والتشهير بالشخص. What's meant is to humiliate and to flatten someone, to assassinate their character. Not, did you say this? Can you do this? Can you go here? Is this true? Don't fall for the tricks of the devil. It's not about what you said in a lecture. It's about we're trying to assassinate your character because we don't like you. And we're looking for an excuse to spew our venom upon you and our hasad upon you. All right. So, فَبَلَغَ جَعْفَرُ ibn Sulaiman. So it reached the ruler, of the governor of Medina, that this is what Malik was saying on the back of the camel. فَقَالَ أَدْرِكُوهُ. He said, all right, catch up to him. أَنزِلُوهُ. You can now take him off the camel. Khalas. He's made his penance, his purgatory, whatever. Khalas. أَنزِلُوهُ. Take him off the camel. We've humiliated him enough. Then it's another narration. Fadl ibn Ziyad al-Qattan. He said, I asked Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, who beat Malik ibn Anas? Who whipped him? Who hit him? He says, Ba'dul Wulat. Some of the rulers. And we spoke about this, Abdurrahim, Dukhul al-Sultan, entering upon the ruler, going to the palace of the ruler, and the danger of Islamic scholarship and politics. The danger of a political ruler for the scholar. And if you do something or say something that this political ruler doesn't like, just like that, they will turn on you. Never trust a politician. That's the rule. Politicians have no loyalty. They have no friends. They have interests and benefits. That's it. Today, Iran is our ally. Tomorrow, Iran is the enemy of everyone. Today, we support them with weapons, guns, training, CIA. Tomorrow, they're terrorists. History has taught us this. You cannot trust people of politics. They don't care about anything except for their own goals and aims. This war was started 5 years ago. They were allies. This war ended. What happened after World War II? The big three. United States, Great Britain, and Russia. They met in Yalta. They sat down. They talked. Everyone was happy. Soon as the Nazis were done away with, Japan surrendered. They dropped the nuclear. Then who started fighting? United States and who? Stalin went from being an ally to the shaitan himself, the devil himself, just like that. Politics. So he said that some of the rulers beat Malik. La adri man huwa. I don't know who he was. إنما ضربه. They beat him because of the fatwa that Imam Malik gave concerning the divorce of a man who was coerced. كان لا يجيزه. Malik said that it is unlawful. There is no divorce of a man that was coerced. And the ruler, he beat him because of that. All right, so this goes to show you hadith, fiqh, and politics. And if you say something which someone dislikes, they will come after you. All right, it's not a new thing. Torturing Muslims, torturing scholars, locking up scholars is not a new thing. طيب فضل وقال الذهبي. مسيب. Allahu Akbar. Al-Dhahabi, rahimahullah, he says in another book, not Sir Alam al-Nubala, but Tariq al-Islam, he mentions this chain of narration that goes back to Ishaq al-Farawi and others who said, Malik was beaten, وَنِيلَ مِنْهُ, and he was scandalized. People slandered him, they said bad things about him. They called him bad names. They disgraced him, they humiliated him. They talked about him, his lineage. Nila minhu. People, they defamed him, right? وَحُمِلَ مَغْشِيًّا عَلَيْهِ, and he was beaten so badly that he fell unconscious. And they still put him on the back of the donkey or the back of a camel, even though he was unconscious, right? And it was paraded around town. Malik said, "Duribtu," he says, I was beaten for the same reason why these great scholars and imams were beaten. Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib, from the most knowledgeable, the Sayyid al-Tabi'een. Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib is at the top, the summit of the Tabi'een. The ilm and the fiqh and the virtue of Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib. And he was beaten. He was whipped. Muhammad ibn Munkadir, Rabi'at al-Ra'i, all of these great scholars. Malik said, وَلَا خَيْرَ فِي مَنْ لَا يُؤْذَى فِي هَذَا الْأَمْرِ. Allahu Akbar. He says, and there is no good in someone who isn't harmed and annoyed for this thing of ours. Allahu Akbar. Household name, everybody, anybody, everybody loves you, agrees with everything that you're saying. No one is coming after you. No one is attacking you. No one is stopping you. No one is giving you any resistance. La khayra fik. You're not a true scholar. Someone out there, somewhere in the world has to disagree with the truth. For him now, you guys get this or not? You cannot be a student of knowledge or a caller to Islam, happy-go-lucky. You want everyone to accept you, everyone to love you. La. Something you're saying is off. وَلَا خَيْرَ فِي مَنْ لَا يُؤْذَى فِي هَذَا الْأَمْرِ. That's a slogan. That could be put on a t-shirt. That could be put on a refrigerator magnet. That could be put on the wall of the masjid or the library. If no one is touching you, you haven't been touched, you ain't making no noise. If you have no haters, no detractors, you haven't really left your mark. You aren't a true athlete, you aren't a true player if everybody agrees. The best of the best, someone is going to say he cheated, or he was this, or he was such and such, or he was such and such. That's how things are. وعن الليث بن سعد أنه قال فضل Allahu Akbar. Layth ibn Sa'd, rahimahullah, who was a contemporary of Malik, a great scholar of Egypt. And some people say, many people say that this man, Layth ibn Sa'd, كان أفقه من مالك وأعلم منه وألزم وأتبع للسنة من مالك ولكن أصحابه خذلوه. تلاميذه لم يقوموا بمذهبه لم يعتنوا بأقواله كما اعتنى أصحاب مالك بأقوال مالك. Layth ibn Sa'd, the great master of Egypt, who was a contemporary of Malik, and some say that he was either equal or greater than Malik, but he had bad students. His disciples weren't loyal; they were disloyal. His disciples they weren't hardworking. They didn't stick to him. They didn't give him what he deserved, like the students of Malik did. So Layth ibn Sa'd, and this is beautiful because this goes to show, even with ma'at tanafus, ihtiram. There's respect for the contemporary. And if you have a dawah channel or a masjid and I have a masjid, we're similar, I don't have to talk bad about you. I don't have to slander you. I don't have to push people away from you. No, don't sit with him. Don't study with him. Only sit with me. La, laysa hakadha. Go study with him. Benefit from him. He's just as good as I am, if not better. Bismillah. This evil, ignorant behavior is not from the way of the people of knowledge. It's not from the people of the pious predecessors. It's from shaitan. This envy. La tahasadu, the Prophet says. Do not envy each other. La tahasadu. You give props to those who deserve those props. And you're not the only scholar in the world. So Layth ibn Sa'd, he said, Inni la arju Allah. Oh, he says, Inni la arju an yarfa Allah. He says, I hope and I pray that every single lash of the whip, Malik will be elevated in paradise. That was the dua he made from Malik. قال مصعب بن عبد الله قال الأصمعي ضربه جعفر ثم بعد مشيت بينهما حتى جعله في حل انتهى. All right, طيب. So that's the story of Malik, how he was whipped, how he was beaten. Last but not least, they say ولا نعلم أن المالكية تستند على هذه القصة في قولهم بإسدال اليدين في الصلاة وإنما استندوا على قول ابن القاسم في المدونة وكره مالك وضع اليد اليمنى على اليسرى في الفريضة وقال لا أعرفه ولا بأس به في النافلة لطول القيام يعين به نفسه ولا يمكن في نظرنا أن يستندوا على إسدال اليدين بقصة الضرب لو ثبتت لأن إسداله ليديه حينئذ يكون لضرورة المرض وعدم القدرة وَهَذِهِ ضُرُورَةُ لَا تُلْغَى بِهَا السُّنَّةِ. And then they go on and speak on putting their hands down to the side. Is that permissible? Did Malik say that? And did the Maliki scholars, do they use the story of Imam Malik being beaten and whipped as a proof? What did Imam Malik say about putting their hands down in the Faridah and in the Nafila prayer? Okay, and the people sticking to a dubious statement instead of the clear hadiths that the Prophet put his right hand on his left hand. The Prophet told the people to put their right hand, etc., etc., etc. We're not here to discuss the fiqhiyat. All right? So this is from the Mihna of Imam Malik. كذا نسأل الله العافية. طيب, we'll stop here tonight. We've taken a lot of information. Jazakumullah khairan. We can cut on the lights, inshallah. If there are any questions, I don't mind entertaining them. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best. Jazakumullah khairan for your participation. Shukran al-Qurra wal-Musharikeen. طيب, are there any questions before we stop? طيب, خيرا إن شاء الله والحمد لله رب العالمين.